Hello there. My name is Stella Hewer. I am from EdUnique. I am the Stress Whisperer. Today I want to share with you a brief thought about trauma and what happens when someone has an incredibly severe traumatic event. Now, this does not happen to everybody. Even things that are highly traumatic. But for some people, the trauma is so great at the time, the terror and the emotions are so heightened, the arousal level of the whole nervous system, that in some instances it almost knocks out consciousness. And that's why people sometimes don't remember things, or they don't remember the incident or parts of it, because sometimes the high emotions means they disassociate from what's actually happening at the time. It's kind of like a defense mechanism and a safety mechanism for the person because of the extreme stress. Now, what happens in that instance when there is some alteration of consciousness because of the extreme nature of the terror and threat to the person undergoing this experience? There are two memory systems. Now, the one memory system goes through the hippocampus of the brain, and that's where it's processed with language. It has a narrative, it has a story, it's very verbal and very conscious. So that's when you know exactly what happened, and you can put a story to it, you can put words to the event. But the other memory system, that gets directed through the amygdala, and that encodes the emotions, the sounds, the smell, the taste, what you hear, what you see, the visions. So it's very emotional, sensory based. So in severe trauma, where there is a disassociation from being able to put a story to it, these memories can become intrusive and can lead to flashbacks because they haven't yet been processed with the right narrative to be able to marry the two together, to bring it together so that it can be assigned and encoded as a memory of something that happened in the past. So what happens in this case is the person is constantly fighting all these perceived threats and the intrusion into their current life, even though the person could be sitting in complete safety. These memories, feelings, the sounds, the flashbacks, the nightmares, these are the sort of coming from the subconscious, where they're trying to break through for the body to, and for the brain to assimilate and integrate the information. But then the person is so traumatized by these intrusive thoughts and visions and feelings that they try to keep suppressing it. And that's basically what we would call post-traumatic stress disorder. In fact, what I learned yesterday was that according to the latest research, post-traumatic stress is not so much an illness as a brain injury. It's been a traumatic brain injury because the person has somehow had a change in consciousness during that experience. Now that, as I said in the beginning, that doesn't happen to everybody. Not everybody has this change of consciousness or shuts down. But when they do, that is what leads to post-traumatic stress, and where there's a separation of these memories and they haven't yet been integrated. And that's why sometimes people can't put words to stories, to things that have happened to them, because it hasn't come together. And when that happens and the person is continues to be distressed, that's when they need assistance to bring these two memory systems together, to be able to put words to those memories. And once one can put the story to it, it then becomes assigned and encoded in the brain as a memory and something in the past, and then those symptoms should subside and disappear. Well, I hope you found that as interesting as what I found. I am Stella, the Stress Whisperer. If you are concerned about anything, I work with stress education, not therapy. And you're welcome to give me a call. My number is 082 411 5002. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.